The question, will Trigger Troll be back in 2019? We didn't get our Trovember of 2018. It was a pump fake, just a post on Twitter in the same vein as Grade A under A of the past before he made his return in 2019. Now, not to get into the pockets of another man, but Trigger Troll does still, to this day, pull in over 1 million views per month. And guessing on the low end, which I assume he is probably at due to the nature of his videos and any possible copyright type of issues, he's probably getting $2,000 a month. And as a guy that I believe was in college, maybe is leaving college, that's a good chunk of money for certain type of bills, or until you get yourself going down a better path in terms of career opportunities, or just paying for stuff in college or what have you. If you're still in college, I don't know. Now, let's get the obvious out the way. You say, hey, who cares if Trigger Troll comes back? He's just a commentary channel based on videos online. A lot of them coming from Dr. Phil. But you have to look at it this way. It's still a legitimate thing. There's a show that's been on TV for 10 years. It's called Ridiculous. Right? Ridiculousness. With, I can't even think of his name. Yeah, Rob Dyrdek. He does essentially the same thing with less editing of the videos. All they do is run back the videos, pause, and forward the video, and he makes a comment. That's what Trigger Troll does. Except Trigger Troll does it in his deadpan type of style, deadpan delivery, and also his voice plays a role because he sounds somewhat effortful when he's speaking, like he's doing us a favor, like he's rolling out of bed. He's taking so much effort to speak in an arrogant kind of way, and that also adds to the element of the comments. So it's not just his deadpan delivery, it's also his voice that makes it interesting, which separates him from other people that make commentary things. So yeah, there's other people that can comment on Dr. Phil, other people doing what we would perceive as to be crazy stuff, and saying, hey, look at my moral compass, look how cool I am, I'm too cool for school, etc. But it's his voice and his delivery that makes it stand out. He actually edits the video, which is more than ridiculousness. And if you're going back even further, America's most funniest videos with Bob Saget doing something similar. So that brings us to the point. Does he come back in 2019? Will he get his same level of views in 2019? Well, considering he's still pulling over 1 million views a month, he hasn't posted since June 2018. You expect him to have a good video coming out the gate if he does do something in 2019, and he can slow it down to maybe one video a month, as long as the cash flow is still coming in. He doesn't have to burn himself out trying to find content he finds interesting or humorous, and just to make a comment on top of it. You don't want to do that. You want to keep your quality and your art intact, especially since you've seen yourself being on the break, still pulling in over 1 million views. I understand there's money involved, but that number's still skyrocketing, and people will share that video because we've seen he can pull multi-million views when it's a good video or the topic is good, and especially the way the YouTube algorithm is set up, where it's about trending certain types of trending news topics, what everyone's searching for, and a lot of people searching for something, it'll get pushed through the algorithm to even people that aren't necessarily searching for it, just to give you an idea of what the people want and what was going on. So he was definitely able to take advantage of the algorithm in terms of that, and it's still space for him in terms of that, and it's still money to be had if everything goes well and he doesn't get any kind of copyright type of strikes or copyright claims against him. Who knows? Now, do I think he's gonna come back? Yeah, I think we'll get one video at least in 2019. He could hold it out into 2020, but at that point, people may be on to something else. He's really pushing it because someone else could probably do what he does better at a certain point. Now, there hasn't been anyone that I ran across that's done it better. I mean, yeah, there's other people that had that same kind of deadpan type of delivery, but they didn't necessarily have the voice for it. They weren't, the random jokes weren't as funny, and the editing style wasn't as interesting, if you will. Because I ran across Trigger Troll because of the sexy vegan videos came with my feed, and I end up subscribing, and then I come back several months later trying to figure out who's the Trigger Troll. Like, oh yeah, I remember now. He had the sexy vegan videos. And those were funny from Dr. Phil, even though you say, hey, the Dr. Phil show carried it. But the parts that he had and his editing did enhance it, and you can't knock that. So then I checked out more videos. I'm like, okay, cool. I get his style, more conversation, like you're sitting with your buddy to a degree. And it's the same vein as like ridiculousness and America's, funniest videos kind of thing. So yeah, that's definitely something that can work, and it can actually work for years, as long as you have someone that can keep supplying you with content, and you keep your humor up. Obviously, it's going to be a little more difficult for him to make all the edits and add in the other jokes, so it's not just talking over the clip. He does add a little something to it, and yeah, he can definitely make that happen. And he doesn't have to get too stressed out. Maybe just do once a month, have some extra change on top of whatever else you got going on in your life. Makes a lot of sense, especially once you got that base, you got a subscriber base, you got people that like your videos. So just keep it high quality, push it out once a month, or push it out even more if you run across something that really gets you going and gets your juices flowing. Saying, hey, yo, let me comment on this. Let me say something funny real quick. So yeah, I expect Trigger Troll to be back in 2019, probably summer or fall, or even all the way up until the end of December, where there's still people wanting content from him, and he doesn't have to worry about people catching on to the next wave commentary channels and being forced out. So yeah, that's my take. Iceberg Jim out. Deuces.